Perak HaMoicher Es HaPeiros Daf Tzadi Hey, sponsored for a bracha of Hatzlacha for Sholmer ben Avram. Let's review. The Mishnah on Tzadi Gimel Amud Beis stated, a buyer must accept approximately 4% soil mixed in produce purchased. Rav Huna on Daf Tzadi Dalid Amud Aleph qualified this ruling, stating if the buyer sifts suspecting there may be more than 4% mixed in, and it turns out to be true, the seller has to reimburse the full amount of dirt mixed in, not just the excess of 4%. The Gemara continues its attempt to find support for his opinion. Number one sold a base kur karka. It turned out to be slightly larger. If the excess was a rova kav b'veisa, the buyer keeps it without adjusting the land price. More, Ravin bar Rav Nachman held he must return not only the excess, but every rova kav b'veisa, not just diminish it to a rova kav b'veisa. Although the Gemara initially assumed this supports Rav Huna, it concludes the sale of land is different. It is only because the seller stated explicitly, I am selling it to you, be it more or less, indicating his intent to forego a price adjustment if slightly larger. However, more than a rova kav b'veisa, he would not forego. It accumulates to a significant field. However, soil commonly found in produce the buyer forgoes a rova kav b'sa even without stipulating more or less. Number two, a seller must refund price fraud in excess of a sixth. He cannot refund only an excess amount to less than a sixth. The buyer assumed the price reflected the exact value of the merchandise. Despite this, he accepted paying only a little more, but for a greater overcharge, demanded a refund to its value. Soil, on the other hand, is common in produce. The buyer accepts its inclusion in the price. Number three, a planter is entitled to 10 barren trees for every 100 planted. More than 10 per 100, the planter must reimburse all the barren trees because they constitute a separate unit enough to plant a separate field, whereas more than a rova kav of soil in produce does not constitute a separate unit. The Mishnah states one who buys a cellar of wine must accept souring wine for a tenth of the barrels. The Gemara defines the exact terms of the sale. The seller stipulated, I am selling you this cellar of wine. The stipulation, wine prevents him from delivering vinegar. However, since he stated this cellar as opposed to a cellar, the seller sells it as is, up to a tenth sour. More than a tenth sour is a mekach tos, a sale null and void, because the seller also stipulated wine suitable for cooking. Only superior wine is suitable to flavor food. In addition, since it is used in small amounts, it must last for an extended period. If he did not stipulate suitable for cooking, then he can provide him wine similar to sold in shops, souring for immediate consumption. If he stipulated a cellar of wine suitable for cooking, all the wine must be superior. If he stipulated a cellar of wine without adding suitable for cooking, this is a dispute between Rav Acha and Ravina. One holds just as when he stipulated this cellar, the Mishnah allows 10% sour wine, even where he stipulated a cellar without adding suitable for cooking, the buyer must accept 10% sour. The other holds, since he stipulated a cellar, not this cellar, therefore it is not necessary to stipulate suitable for cooking to interpret his intent to sell superior wine. If you're enjoying Daf 5, please click on the link below, subscribe, and become a sponsor. Thank you.